Hi, my name is Sarah Danaher, and I'm the Jenkins MBA admissions recruiter. Thank you so much for joining us for our first ever Jenkins MBA Spotlight series. Whether this is your first episode or your 10th, we're really happy you're here. Today, my colleague, Riley Hutchison, Assistant Director of Admissions, and I will be sharing with you some stories and experiences from some of our amazing students and alumni. This 10-part, 5-week series will feature interviews, personal success stories, as well as first-hand tips and tricks for admission. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy.
Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another installation of the Jenkins MBA Spotlight interview series. Today I am here with Sarah Danaher again, as well as Marie Uhlig, a first-year Jenkins MBA student, and Wade Johnson, who is a second-year MBA student. So Marie, would you mind introducing yourself really quickly? Talk about, the work industry that you've been in, what brought you to the Jenkins MBA program, and if there are any fun facts about yourself that you would like to share.
Sure. So my name is Marie Uhlig, and I previously worked in the IT and telecommunications industry. I was a senior B2B marketing manager, and I came to Jenkins to pursue my MBA. And fun fact about me, I'm actually German, and I had just moved to Raleigh at the end of July.
Thank you so much, Marie. And Wade?
Yeah, so my name is Wade Johnson. I'm a second-year Innovation and Marketing Management concentration here at NC State in the Jenkins program. I recently attended Wingate University and graduated from there in 2019, where I played football and also majored in marketing and econ. My previous work experience is in digital media, consumer relationship marketing, as well as financial services. And I'm kind of trying to stay in that tech, media, and data kind of realm going forward as I start my career journey and process into that.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today.
So our first question that we're going to dive into today would be all about how you heard about the Jenkins MBA program. Wade, would you like to start?
Yeah, so it's actually funny. After my freshman year in undergrad, I actually did a work study at NC State in the Human Resources Department. So I was actually kind of able to get more of a lens as far as what it looks like at NC State for that process, and kind of had that going forward through undergrad is always kind of in the back of my head of whether or not I wanted to, remain a student and kind of get things done, or if I wanted to go out into the workforce and try and come back. And then through some research and kind of trying to figure out more of the, realm and where I'm trying to work going forward, I found that the Jenkins MBA program does a great job with tech and innovation, which was really the big driving factor and why I ended up applying to the Jenkins program.
Thank you so much. How about you, Marie?
It actually took me a couple of years to press the send button on my application. I had inserted several years ago, and I just couldn't find the right time frame and when I wanted to actually attend. So then I finally made myself, because has always been a goal of mine, to get my MBA ever since I graduated undergrad with business administration and marketing in 2013. And this year was going to be this year. So I filed for the application, and the online process was really easy to me. So I figured I had all the support from the Jenkins MBA, from the staff, from the advisor. It made the process incredibly easy and so supporting. And I love Raleigh, and that's probably the reason too why I wanted to come to Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So Wade, would you mind sharing, your experience applying and navigating through the application process? I know it was a little bit ago, but what do you remember about that process?
Yeah. So actually going into my senior year of undergrad, the graduate school was still kind of in the back of the head. So I had a couple options. I could have done the normal kind of route where you wait until after January and then kind of start applying then. But NC State was actually very unique in what they offer is the one day to MBA program, which is actually something that I took full advantage of, because knowing kind of exactly where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, I was able to take advantage of that offering that you guys had, to where I was able to know if I got admitted within the next, I think it was 48 hours. Mm-hmm. So it's actually funny. I had to leave a Thursday practice, had to drive up to Raleigh, stay at my parents' house for a couple hours, then do my interview, drive back that day for practice, and then played a game the next day and found out that night that I had been admitted to the program. And I was sold in, signed the dotted line, and been about NC State ever since.
And Marie, what about you? I know your application process was a little bit more recent. So how did you navigate and feel about the process?
Great. Because I am a German, and since I had just moved here in July, I actually fulfilled my application from Germany, where I had been living the past 5 years. And Jenkins made it incredibly easy on me to do everything I needed to do from online overseas with the time difference, which was incredible. So basically, I was able to put in all of the work that I needed to complete on the application ahead of time online, and then we scheduled an interview, which was virtual. During this time, super incredibly easy, of course, and it was amazing. It was, yeah, just the way I wanted it to be.
Well, good. I'm so glad to hear that.
So you've gone through the interview process, you've compiled all your documents. What made you choose to enroll in the Jenkins MBA program?
To be perfectly honest, this was my first choice, and it was my only choice. I actually only applied to NC State for the MBA program, so this might be surprising. However, I love the area so much, and I felt so compelled by NC State and the Jenkins MBA program that I really made this my only choice and my only option. And if this wasn't going to work out, I just would have not become an MBA at all. And the reason why I wanted it to be was because of the very personalized support that I received during the process, and because of the area. I love Raleigh.
And what about you, Wade?
So it's actually a funny story. NC State was my only selection too, and the only school I actually applied to for my MBA degree. But there's multiple reasons that go into that. One I mentioned earlier was the tech and innovation focus, which I was really big on when I was looking at different schools. But secondly, my parents actually graduated from NC State back in '89, and I lived in Holly Springs, North Carolina, and Raleigh was basically my home throughout my entire upbringing. So for me, it was almost like I always knew I wanted to return back to Raleigh, whether it was for job or school. And it turns out it was for grad school. So I was very ecstatic to get that, hey, you got admitted literally a day after I had an interview. And then from that point on, it was just working with you guys in admissions and getting things set up. And that whole process just went tremendous. So.
Oh, we're so happy to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Now, Marie, what have been some of your first impressions and experiences with the Jenkins MBA so far? I know we are in unprecedented times of coming into an MBA program with kind of some uncertain circumstances, but what have been your first impressions thus far?
So I haven't been here this long. I just finished my first month. However, I can already say that it is a lot of work in the first semester. That is true, but all the support from the advisor, from the CMC, from the staff, from whole Jenkins is amazing, is incredible. We are really getting the information also from the professors. They spoon feed us what we need to know, what will prepare us for the time ahead with finding the career that we always wanted to be in. So to me, this is has been a really good experience, and I'm super, super grateful for it.
And Wade, as a second-year student, your experience have been a little bit different since you've had the opportunity to go through your first year, obtain an internship. Can you speak a little bit to your experiences in the program?
One thing I want to hit on most in regards to the program is that you shouldn't let any second go by. Every second counts. That's another way of putting it, I guess you would say. You never know, like for instance, like Marie was saying, in those intro classes when you're taking accounting and finance, you never know if something like that might pique your interest. Or you might sit there like I did and wonder, why was I even contemplating a finance dual concentration? You live and you learn. I guess that's how you could put it. And the people in the program matter too. At the end of the day, this cohort, it's roughly under 50 people. And these folks are going to be our career advocates and advisors and network going forward in the future. So building those relationships with your classmates is something that's really big, and it's something that's ultimately helped me get to where I am, because through the classwork, you get to learn these people, you get to establish these relationships, and then you never know where it may lead to down the road.
That's fantastic. That's great advice, Wade. Now, Marie, I know you're kind of just starting out in your classes, but have any classes or projects stood out to you thus far that you've really enjoyed?
There actually has, and I'm fairly surprised by that because I truly did not expect it. However, I did find a small passion for economics, which I didn't know about. So, just going through the first weeks and of the economics lectures, and I really enjoyed it, and I really can say that I have a insight to it and I understand it easily. And that came surprising to me, but it makes me really happy.
That's awesome. And that's great. It's exciting that you found that really, really early, and it's something that you can look forward to learning more about as the program progresses.
And what about you, Wade? Are there any special classes or projects that you've worked on?
Yeah, so I'd say probably the one class that stood out the most to me was my consumer behavior class with Dr. Woods. She actually structured the class to where we had a project book at the end of the year that was basically comprised of all these weekly projects that we would put together with different teams. And with consumer behavior, it's such an interesting topic because half the time consumers don't even know what they want. We were able to learn new methods and ways that we were able to manipulate consumers into actually liking products that they beforehand would not have. And we also were able to do really extensive things such as rebranding packaging. We were able to literally take a fit nutrition bowl meal, take what it's currently looks like, and then apply all of the stuff that we've learned in that class and all the different methodologies in order to make this new rebranding so that it can pop and it can really, be targeted towards the individuals that need that kind of specific meal. So I would say that's one of the projects I've done. And it's really nice because then at the end of the year, when everything's all said and done, you now have a portfolio of different designs and deliverables that you can actually present to people in interviews or in the workforce.
Now, can you both tell us a little bit about the delivery method of your courses?
So from a non-COVID perspective, the courses are awesome. Everything's in person. I had not had a single online course up until the end of spring break this past spring when, COVID happened. Everything's in person. The professors are willing to work with you after hours. You usually do a lot of work in groups, which then helps you make friendships and relationships with other people. But the biggest thing is any instruction, any help you need, the teachers are more than willing to do whatever they can. And they're pretty receptive to emails, given the COVID landscape we're in now, which has been nice. And a lot of classes have really, I guess I would say, transitioned to more of an online structure compared to what they were once things were kind of switched over abruptly in the spring, which is really nice to see.
Since I've started, all of the classes had been online. There was one class that was going to meet in person, but that also had been moved online. And so far we have all but one synchronous courses where we meet via Zoom and we get the same amount of interaction and thought exchange as we might have had with a face-to-face lecture. But I can definitely tell that it's been working really great. And I've been learning a lot. My grades are actually good, even though, this pandemic has made it incredibly hard. I was very worried about that, but I've been learning a lot. And I feel like with this program, I can prepare myself for a good future in the workforce and hoping to still major in marketing management, but we'll see. Maybe it's fine.
Now, in terms of the last question that we have for you all, is there anything else you want to add? Any tips, tricks, things that you wish you knew before coming in?
So the experience that I have made so far is that the support system within Jenkins is like a family. You really, if you have a problem, if you reach out to your advisor or to the professor, or even I'm a GA as well, I'm a graduate assistant, just reach out if there's something on your mind, on your heart, and talk to them about it, and then you can get it resolved. Also, I think relying on your cohort and really getting to know the people that you are studying with, and not only getting them to know on a personal level, but also getting to know their skill sets. It's an incredible value because those are going to be the people that will help you through the difficult times if, because you will be taking classes in subjects that you're not as good as, like for me, that's accounting, as in others, and so having like a backup, having people that can support you through this is super important. So that was the learning that I took out of it.
Yeah, I would say that the biggest thing I could add is there's so much more outside of the classroom that you can take advantage of at NC State in the Jenkins program. Not only doing things, fun activities with your cohort and doing projects and all that good jazz, but all that they have to offer too as far as career help has been absolutely tremendous. We are given a career coach every year whose main goal is to help us land our dream job. And depending on how much you want it, they'll give you just as much as you need. So I would say that's taking advantage of those resources and really, understanding that there's more to the graduate program than just doing well in the classroom. It will help you go a really long ways in this program.
Oh, that was a wonderful tip.
Now, Marie and Wade, thank you both so much for joining us today. Moving forward in just 1 second, if you hang on, I'm going to pop up some contact information for Sarah and myself, as well as a couple of other great admissions contacts. You can also find Wade and Marie's contact information below. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you all have any questions. And if you want that student perspective or have any questions for Marie and Wade, please feel free to reach out to them. Tune in next week as we continue with more from our Jenkins MBA Spotlight interview series. But we hope this has been helpful, and we look forward to speaking with you all soon.